Tonight, countries collide as your Deakin Melbourne Boomers kick off their pre-season schedule against the Huskies from Houston Baptist. Playing away from home, tonight's visitors sport a lineup which has the potential to push the Boomers right to the limit and springboard their upcoming NC2A season. While for Melbourne, this game is all part of the process in the search for glory in WSBL 16-17. Don't forget to jump on board as a member for the upcoming season because believe me, you're going to want to be involved. Without further ado, would you please welcome out tonight's active lineup for Houston Baptist. They start with number 3, Heidi Bird. Number 5, Lisa Zedichka. Number 10, Bria Johnson. Number 11, Rita Doll. Number 12, Sophie Taylor. Number 13, Shannon Jones. Number 14, Amanda Johnson. Number 20, Charlotte Hodges. Number 22, Sydney Carr. Number 23, Lauren Campbell. Number 24, Taylor Goldberger. Number 33, Brooklyn Moore. Number 35, Mel Tuba. Number 45, Veronica Kilwago. And number 55 is Kennedy Collins. The head coach of Houston Baptist is Donna Finney, assisted by Lauren Tibbetts. Alright, now it's time to get up and about as we welcome out the roster for your Deakin Melbourne Boomers. Let's welcome out number 1, Tegan Cunningham. Number 2, Chelsea D'Angelo. Number 3, Brittany Smart. Number 5, Casey Burton. Number 6, Rebecca Ott. Number 7, Cassidy Coles. Number 11, Olivia Thompson. Number 14, Monique Conti. Number 21, Elise Emaluna. Number 23, Maddie Carrick. Number 41, Alice Koenig. And number 42, Emma Nan Carvers. The head coach of your Boomers, as always, is Guy Morelli, assisted tonight by Al McCautry and Nicole Howard. Ladies and gentlemen, we now invite you to be standing for the national anthems of both sides. Just 5 minutes until tip-off, ladies and gentlemen, it is Houston Baptist taking on your Deakin Melbourne Boomers.
Yes, welcome everyone here to a Tuesday night here in Melbourne, and of course looking forward to your company here, and of course an early Tuesday morning over in the US in Houston. It's about 4:25 I should say, Houston time, and a very special good morning to our US listeners as well, and watchers on Falcons TV and on Smash FM as well. I'm your host, Will Taylor. Very special good evening to everyone here in Melbourne and morning over in the US. I'm from Smash FM. Joining me in the commentary position today, up here in the commentary box, is Falcons TV very own Andrew Seabrook. Very special good evening to you, Andrew.
G'day, Will. How are you going? It's good to
thanks.
be here. We saw a great game the other week with the South Dakota Coyotes against the Boomers development squad. And we're looking for a cracker here with some of the senior players back into the squad this time. But let's introduce Damien from Pick and Roll.
Howdy guys, it's great to be here calling the game with you.
Yeah, looking forward to it, and I must say there's a lot of expectations going into the season, not just for Houston back home in Division 1, but also for the Deakin Melbourne Boomers going into the WNBL season, Damien.
Yeah, look, it is, and look, I love college basketball. I cover it for the Pick and Roll and all the Australians playing over there in the States. It's great to have so many of these college teams come here and visit Australia and get an opportunity not only to see the country but to see how good our competition really is here. And today we've got the Melbourne Boomers, and I think they're going to be a very, very, probably their sternest test on their tour here because, as you mentioned, we've got a lot of the senior players back into the team. Correct,
and of course the Huskies, I should say, they took on Ringwood last night, and by all reports they did very well. Unfortunately, they fell victim to the Big V state women's champions in the Ringwood Hawks by about 10 to 20 odd, I was told, by the coaching staff. Yeah, look, it was a tough game for them, and Ringwood being one of the stronger teams playing around in the Big V as well. So that's nothing to worry about from Houston's point of view. Their tour is about preparation for the next season. For the Boomers, however, this is really now starting to ramp up for them for the WNBL season ahead, and there's an air of confidence coming out of the Boomers camp. A lot of new recruits, a lot of young players into the team. So it's definitely a transition season for them with some young up and coming players to look forward to. Yeah, absolutely, and I guess going into this one, Guy Malloy, of course, he's still got a couple of other recruits to come in to the team. Of course, one's coming from the US. In the WNBA at the moment. It's going to be interesting to see how she fits into the team. Yeah, it certainly will be, and I'm really looking forward to see how this Melbourne Boomers team tonight are coming together and to see how they shape up against a college team touring that's now played 3 or 4 games together or more. And I think for Bulleen, they really want to see how they're going to gel together too. So it should be an interesting contest. Should be an absolute ripper. Your tip? My tip, I think Melbourne Boomers will do this very easily, particularly with their senior players back into the team. Again, it depends on how much they play them too, knowing they're playing a college team, but I'd expect somewhere around 20 points or more. Andrew, your tip?
Yeah, look, I think so, but again, we've seen from these touring college teams that they can come out and they can match it, and they do play fairly quickly. One of the things they're going to struggle with, and we saw that at McKinnon, is the change in the shot clock rules. So that although they had gone to a much more of a FIBA-orientated game, in that they are now playing in 4 quarters rather than halves, but they're still used to a 30-second shot clock, and that makes a big difference. And they reset to 30 seconds on the offensive possessions, which under FIBA rules, which goes back to 14, yeah. Guy Malloy, not a fan of that, by the way, Damien. Did you hear the coverage from the VYC women?
Look, I personally didn't, but yeah, it is a difference going to a 24-second shot clock, so it will be a quicker game as a result. But Houston Baptist with some athleticism should be able to cope with that. And we're underway. It's Maddie Garrick, and of course my tip is the Boomers to win by less than 10 points. Thompson goes down low to Garrick on the right side. Knocked out of bounds, going to the Boomers. 15 on the shot clock. Great crowding tonight too on a Tuesday night here at Waverley. Ball back into play in the hands of Brittany Smart to Elise Poundilla. Back to Smart. Drives in. Of course, she had a great season last year before she got injured late.
Pellew for jumper and banks home the 2. So the Boomers 2 and the Huskies 0. Here on Falcons TV. On the right side now, the Huskies with the ball in the hands here of Zergiga. On the right now, in the hands of Collins, and here they come at the top at the moment. They've got 9 on the shot clock though. So Zergiga on the right, drives in. Here's Moon on the right side with a fadeaway and misses. Rebound now to Thompson for the Boomers, and she gives it off to Smart. So Smart gives it now on the left side to Koenig. Koenig left baseline, goes for the 2, no good. Rebound now, and here they come. They always turned it over to one of the best players in getting turnovers is Maddie Garrick. And unfortunately for her, she got a turnover herself. And it goes back to the Boomers. So it'll be interesting to see how Houston go about it tonight as it goes out of bounds. And it goes back in the hands here in front of us here on the broadcast side to Bird. Bounce passes to Zedeka. Coming off the leads of Palanula. Zedeka still with the ball. 15 on the shot clock though. Bird with the ball now. Down to 10. Up the top, guarded by Garrick. Bird drives in. Pops it up, blocked that time. Out of bounds. They've got 5 on the shot clock.
The Boomers were very good at preventing them from getting into their offense very early on there.
So, ball back into play here with 5 on the shot clock. So, Zedeka for long 3. It's no good. It's a shot clock violation. So, shot clock violations go to the Boomers. And we've already seen South Dakota last week, Andrew. They got caught out a couple times on shot clock violations, and Houston already struggling with it here early. Thompson. Drives on to Koenig, up and under 2, banks it home for 4-0 lead. 8 minutes to go. Melbourne 4 and Houston no score. So Zedeka, right side now, trying to bring it back to the top. Now in the hands here of Johnson. Now to Bird. Guarded by Garrett. That's going to be a great matchup, those two. Now they've got 6 on the shot clock. That's going to be a travel violation.
We saw it again there. They're really taking a long time to get into an offensive set, and it's really leading to some, turnovers, I guess.
So the Boomers off to a good start. Smart for 2. No. Rebound now. Thompson off the offensive boards. Drives in, pops it up. Foul, count the basket, and the foul is an offensive foul. No, it is. Count the basket. So 6-0 Boomers.
That was a good strong drive there by Thompson. Really got around her player and finished strongly.
And she was the only player who didn't get injured last season for the Boomers, as well as Koenig.
Yeah, it was a bit of a disappointing season for the Boomers, suffering some crippling injuries to key players at different times.
So Thompson hits the bonus. 7-0 Melbourne. 7:46 to go here in the first quarter. Houston ball as they bring it out. Oh, that's not a good pass. Out of bounds. And for both of you, I'll ask this question to both of you, Andrew and Damien. What can Houston do, because they're off to a very slow start?
Look, personally, I think they probably need to look to push the tempo a little bit more. Got younger legs overall, although the Melbourne Boomers do have a young squad as well.
Koenig hits the 2 for a 9-0 lead.
Yes, it's looking dangerous at the moment. I honestly thought that they would come out and be a lot more aggressive than they have been.
I think they had a very similar start against Ringwood last night too.
Now, one of the things that the Coyotes did particularly well against the Boomers last week was that they came out and ran a lot of screens, a lot of pick and rolls. So far, Huskies haven't done that at all, and I think really they need to against these bigger bodies.
Well, it's quite funny because for the fact that they've only got one senior in the team. Everyone's freshman or sophomore at the moment for the Huskies. So it's going to take quite a bit of time to get there on their feet. Here's a long 3. Can't leave Brittany Smart wide open for 3. And the margin is back to 10. 12-2 the score. And, of course, Brittany Smart coming off a great season for the Sandringham Sabres in the Seabull. Of course, they're still going, of course, the Seabull season. Foul's been called. It's against number 3, it's on Smart. Of course, Brittany Smart had a crippling injury late in the season too, Andrew.
Yeah, she did.
Which threw a lot of things off. Here's Monique Conti, Damien, of course, coming off a Big V championship with Melbourne, MVP, and also a World Championship with the Sapphires.
Exactly right. She's the shortest player on the roster as well, but she was in the All-Star 5 in the World Championship, so very, very good player and making her debut season with the Boomers.
It'd be great to see her in action. Here's a long 3, banks a 3. That's a nice play for the Houston, and they got the margin back to 7, 12-5. So Conti gives it to Garrett, right side of Cunningham. Of course, play here at Waverley in the Big V season for the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, she's re-signed again for next season, apparently.
Great news for Waverley fans. As Garrett's shot went up, and a foul's going to be called off the ball. Not sure who that was on exactly. It's on Houston, though. It's team foul number 2. It's on 45. It's on Collins. Oh, sorry, it's on Kirienko, I should say. Ball back into play here. So Tom's long 2 and banks it home. So the margin now, it's 14-5, and Boomers off to a great start here early on. So Denko with the ball, of course, got a tough challenge against one of the best players in the world for a race group in Monique Conti. Drives around the screen, goes up for a long 2, misses that time there by Kumogan, and here they come up the other end here for the Boomers through Monique Conti. Of course, we both saw Monique Conti in action in the Morton VYC Women's Grand Final, Andrew, and she was an absolute MVP for sure.
Yeah, she certainly was. She and Brianna Babick.
Here's Conti for 2, misses.
Yeah, took them apart there.
And Cunningham got fouled.
And she also played against the Coyotes as well, South Dakota Coyotes.
She did. So ball back, so 14-5 score, 5 minutes 9 to go.
And Damien, she would have to be on the radar of the American coaches as well, wouldn't she?
Look, she would, and it'll really depend on how she develops over the next couple of years. She's still a very, very young player, so to be on a Bulleen Boomers roster in the WNBL is an amazing achievement alone for someone of her age and height, for that matter. So she's a real pocket rocket.
Yep.
Of course, the MVP of the tournament went to Izzy McBegg, I think, from Australia. Of course, she's from Coburg up this end. Here's Cunningham for long 2, banks it home. 16-5, you can't give easy positions like that to Olivia Thompson and Team Cunningham. They'll punish you. So, Huskies got to find their feet here. Is Bird with the ball now. Guarded by Burton. Left side now. Goes into Kerber.
Oh, great move. Great move.
Kermogan banks home the 2. 16-7. Contra with the ball now.
That was a lot better there from the Huskies.
Cunningham off a screen, right side. Here's Garrett for long 2, banks it home. 18-7. Maddie Garrett's done a great stand. Of course, she's had a season off in Seabull. Maddie Garrett concentrating on uni, and she hasn't missed a beat.
So we're already starting to see a little bit of the depth of the Boomers already. They've got 6 scorers so far.
Scary side, isn't it, for the Huskies, Andrew? So out of bounds as it went off. Lauren Kerber, of course, from down here in Australia, from Helensburgh in country New South Wales. So hello to everyone in country New South Wales as well. Let's watching this on Falcons TV. Ball back into play here. It's in the hands here of Bird. Bird jumper missed, and in the hands of Maddie Garrick. Up the floor she goes. Long pass to Cunningham. Was coming across from Dandenong. Great to see her in the Boomers colours. Here's Koenig. Misses that time. Rebound put back by Burton and banks it home. And Kelsey Burton's had a great season for Ballarat, Damien.
Yeah, by all accounts, she's done really, really well. Ooh, we see a little bit of contact get away there.
Yeah.
Bounce pass down low. Kerber. Fadeaway jumper. It's home. 20-9 Boomers. Conti up the floor. Right side now to Burton. Burton to Cunningham off a screen. Goes to the left side to Kunich. She's not shy from that range. Misses. Rebound now for the Huskies. It's in the hands here of Johnson, the captain. Gives it up for a long three for Taylor. Way off the mark. And it goes out of bounds. Boomers ball. Coming on the floor now is Beck. Oh, was coming off playing at Notts. Had a great season for the Notts Raiders. Unfortunately, crashed out last weekend to Ringwood in 3.
They did. Ringwood coming back in that. They lost the first at home and then won 2 away. So a great result there for Tim Motton and the girls.
And Monique Conti-Dries, the one thing she does best, playing in the point guard position, and she got fouled on the play. And that's the one thing we saw in VYC women's game against Bulleen, that she teared Bulleen apart in that game. And of course, she did the same with the Sapphires. Damien, I think, Conti?
Yeah, she really did. She was very good at distributing the ball and setting up her teammates.
Cunningham not shy, makes the 2, and she is red hot. I think her top score was 35 against Sun and Penn a couple of weeks ago. And out of bounds then.
Look, she's looking forward to having a really good season this year. Of course, she came off a really devastating injury about 18 months ago, something like that.
Correct.
And played limited minutes in the Dandenong squad. But she's back. She's back in a big way.
24-9, and what a great addition too. Coming across from Dandenong, and of course playing alongside her teammate there, a former Dandenong teammate, Alice Kunich. Foul against Conti on the captain there in Brianna Johnson. And Damien, question to ask you, obviously for the Huskies, for Donna Finlay and the team out there, got a bit of work to do.
They've got a lot of work to do. There's a couple of things. Offensively, they're taking too long to get into their offense, and that was some of the comments we were talking about off air of how they were going to cope. You know, managing the shot clock in particular, and as we just see some up and down action now, but they're also not closing out on the mid-range jump shots, and the Boomers right now have been taking full advantage of that.
Long 3 on the way, bakes the 3, needed that one. The Huskies, Taylor banks at home, 24-12, and they can't rely on their 3-point shooting all the time because if they missed, the Boomers are all over the rebounds.
Yeah, she's actually looked quite good early, so they'll probably need her to score a few more because right now they're really struggling to hit baskets.
Burton for 3, misses that one off the back rim, and here they come up the other end here through Sophie Taylor, who scored all those 3-pointers to keep them in it. As you said, Damon, they'll need Sophie Taylor to do the bulk of the scoring to get themselves back into it. On the right, long 2 on the way, misses. Rebound now, Team Cunningham. Cross pass to Burt on the right. Left pass now to Ott. Now to Conti at the top. Into the final minute of this quarter. Ott. Left side, here is a long 3. Bangs it home there by Alice Kunich for the 2, 26-12.
Yeah, this is really turning into a one-way competition.
Well, they've just got to stay in this, don't they?
Yeah.
They did this last night against Ringwood. Misses that time. Rebound now, put back. Foul that time. Taylor Kumorgan, of course, from Houston, Texas. Of course, her high school is Second Baptist back in Houston.
What's really hurt the Huskies at the other end has been those mid-range shots and long-range shots, and Tegan Cunningham and Alice Kunich in particular have taken advantage of that.
And they're not shy from that range either.
No, most certainly.
Missed the first. Well, they got caught out last night, I think, as well, especially Melissa Dixon and Nika Whiting did all the shots. And, of course, Melissa Dixon's having a great year for Ringwood, Andrew.
Yeah. And this was the Ringwood team that's played 2 really tough games over the weekend as well. So they were already being hot. As Cunningham sinks along too.
She must be on double figures by now, Team Cunningham.
I think she's got 8 points by my reckoning.
There you go.
Both Kunich and her have got 8 points.
There you go then. Koenig's picked off the steal. I tell you what, this is looking like a blowout here. Koenig long 3 misses. Quarter time here, 28-13 is the score here on Falcons TV. Damien and Andrew, actually no, we'll go to a break and we'll come back in just a moment. Yes, welcome everyone back here to Waverley Basketball Stadium here in Chadstone in Melbourne Southeast. And of course, it is 28-13 lead to the Boomers. Andrew and Damien, what's your views on this first quarter?
Well, look, the Huskies just seem to be a little bit nervous about what's going on there. They've obviously had a tough game last night. And then to come out against a team that's playing as well as the Boomers are on what is effectively their first hit out of the season. You know, they just need to regroup, and we saw signs of it. There were signs particularly when they were working Damien through the post, rather than just trying to kick the ball out from long.
Definitely, and I think later in that quarter they realised they need to do more early in the possession as well. They were walking the ball up, holding on to it for too long and then calling a play. They've really got to have the play up and running first and then be aggressive. I don't think they've been aggressive enough early, and they started to be a little bit more adventurous in venturing into the keyway.
Sophie Taylor doing most of the bulk of the work so far for the Huskies as we get ourselves back underway here. Sadika with the ball in second quarter action here from Waverley. Bird on the right side now to Cleaver. Now the hands here, try to back down. Sadika drives in, blocked, out of bounds, going to the Boomers. Great defense there by Brittany Smart.
That was very smart defence there.
It was.
Yeah, but a lot more energy in the offense there, though.
Definitely, and they need more of that. And that was just a great one-on-one defensive play.
So Thompson at the right side. Thompson to Palanula, left side now to Koenig on the left, back to Smart. Fakes, 9 on the shot clock. Now in the hands here of Koenig, long jumper, way off the mark, and Smart couldn't keep it in, out of bounds.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of shots from Koenig that have been a little bit wayward like that, so it's unusual for her.
It is.
So,
but if you notice, the ball movement's a lot more crisp, particularly from a team, as you mentioned, it's their first hit out together.
Yeah.
They're really moving the ball well.
Turnover by the Huskies. Cunningham to Thompson. Misses that time. Rebound now by Thompson. Brings it back to the top to Palanula. Now to Smart at the top. Smart coming off a screen. This could almost be the starting lineup, really. Smart for long 3. Base homer 3. And where was the hands on that one? On Brittany Smart. She's known for that range.
not to the Americans, though.
No, true.
Well, she's hit a couple of them now. Looking very dangerous from the perimeter.
Left side, Kleber pops it up, no good. Rebound now, Cunningham all over the boards here. She's almost on her way to a double-double very soon, Cunningham. Koenig for long two, missed. Rebound now, Cunningham off the offensive boards again, and the height advantage is showing effect here early on. Smart drives in, pops it up, no good. Rebound now, tries again, a fresh 14. They haven't, I was going to say they haven't quite reset it, they did now. Koenig, left side, jumper, got it.
That's better.
And that's the shot that the Huskies need to take away from the Boomers right now. That has been bread and butter for the Boomers.
It's almost 3/4 of scoring. They've been all outside shooting for the Boomers, Damien.
Look, they have, and most of them have been around that distance. They've been that mid-range jump shot, and they're making the majority of them, making them pay.
Telkinko blocked that time by Pownall and Thompson.
The shot clock's down. They haven't recognised it.
No, 3. They got 2 seconds. 1. They've got to put it up. Blocked that time by Cunningham. And another 24-second shot clock violation. And Damien and Andrew, that shows the difference between an extra 6 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, and again, this is something we've seen from a lot of the college teams, that they do struggle in adjusting to that 24.
So Thompson on the right side, 60 on the shot clock. Gives it back to Pownall. Left side now. Oh, almost lost it there by Koenig. Smart drives. 9 on the shot clock. Goes down low to Pownall, and there's going to be a foul against Houston. That's the first team foul. 33-13, and Damien, they're looking down a big hole right now, the Huskies.
I think what we're also seeing is a lot of experience coming out. We look at some of the players that have really stepped up for the Boomers. We're talking Kunek, Cunningham, Penaluna's out there, Smart. These players are very, very experienced, and right now the lack of it from the Huskies is really showing.
As I said, one senior in this team this season, and it's getting found out against a lot of freshmen. Here's the 2, bakes it home there, Olivia Thompson. Great baseline shot there, 35-13. 22 points the margin. And looking down, Neen to score. Down to 15 now, all of a sudden. Foul against Thompson for reaching on Lauren Clever.
I actually like Calva. She has been really quite good when since she came on.
She was the MVP for New South Wales Country in the recent national championships that happened last year, I should say, here at Ballarat. Turned it over that time there. Here they come. Cunningham, they're not going to catch her. She's in double figures. 37-13. And 24 points, the margin. They need to get back into this, the Huskies. Long 2, missed that time there by Carr, and here they come up the floor. It's in the hands here of Maddie Garrick. Left side, almost got the steal there, Carr. So Cunningham knows this venue very well. Gives it off now for Garrick, no good. And in the hands of Carr for the Huskies. To Bird, bounce pass down low. Clever.
Ooh, got away with a bit of a foul there.
Here they come. Now, not in a big V. Cunningham would have got pinned for that.
Well, I'm going to blame the South Australian ref for that one. and when he listens to the commentary later, he's going to have a go at me about it too. Yeah. But
Pownall with 6. Sorry about that. Go for 3. Ew, in and out. Rebound Carr. Well, as they slowly come up the floor here. Clever with the ball. Bounce pass on the right side.
I think one of the things about Calva is that because she is Australian, she doesn't quite have the same fear, if you like. No, it's not really a fear. But she's much more prepared to get in there and mix it with these other players. You know, she's grown up watching them, hearing about them, and she probably knows a lot more about how they play than a lot of her other teammates as well.
Johnson just got blocked by Gary a moment ago. Paladula misses that one as she falls to the ground. Here they come up the other end. It's Clever.
Calva,
I should say. Pops it up, no good. Oh, no, almost another offensive rebound, but Cunningham couldn't keep it in. Baseline ball. They got 18 on the shot clock. The Huskies.
So, Damien, you keep a watch on the girls going over to college each year?
Yeah, we definitely do. We cover both the men and the women extensively on the pickandroll.com.au site. So there's so much talent going over to the United States right now, and we're seeing one of them play against a WNBL team, which is probably where she'd love to be in the future.
Correct. As they turned it over here, the Huskies, they exactly as I thought. Garrick up the floor. Left side gives it up to now Koenig.
Smart pass.
The Boomers being very disciplined too. They've had some opportunities for easy baskets, but they've gone back to their offense.
And there's the cutter there, Koenig, and Cunningham found her. 39-13, and again, Damien, that is the second time that a timeout's going to be called here to the Huskies. 39-13, and Damien, that is, well, Huskies not going well on the defence in regards to they've missed a couple of cutters in there for an easy shot for the Boomers, as well as that mid-range shots.
Yeah, that's right. And I think the Boomers are really being disciplined right now. They know they've got this already sewn up, and it's their first game, and they're really focusing on their offense. So they've pulled it up a few times to go through their sets and to really work on what they need to ahead of the season. And right now, for the Huskies, offensively is where it's all happening, or not happening, more importantly. They're taking a long time to get into anything, and it's not obvious if they are actually getting into a set of any kind right now. So they're going to need to make some adjustments. They're probably going to go into half-time a little bit disconsolate, but they are playing a WNBL team. They've got some very experienced players. We're talking about, Elise Penaluna, who's a borderline opal. So there's some serious talent on this Boomers team in comparison to the other teams that they've been playing to date.
I guess we'll go back to the Olympic side of things, the Rio Games. Opals very disappointingly didn't get a medal at all. They probably would love to have Elise Penaluna in the team now.
Yeah, there's some interesting byplay there around team selection. But look, at the end of the day, the Opals really didn't gel well enough. They got through 5-0 through group play, but it wasn't convincing at all, and it should have been convincing. And you can't take that into a do-or-die quarter-final game and expect to be able to escape again.
And before we get this underway, how about your views on the Boomers in the men's?
Oh, the Boomers, in my opinion, were very, very impressive and very, very unlucky to miss out on a bronze medal. And a lot of people will go back to that call against Paddy Mills, but at the end of the day, they had their opportunities and didn't take them. A lot of people will hang it on that one play, but at the end of the day, they've done the whole nation proud.
As we see the ball coming back down the other way, held by the Huskies. It's kicked across to Bird. Now out. And the shot has rolled over. Rebounded there by Penaluna. Koenig, sorry.
That was a lot more encouraging there from the Huskies. They came out from the timeout with a lot more purpose, and they actually ran a play.
So Cunningham with the ball now. Left side. Goes down low. Almost turned it over. Koenig pops it up. Foul, yes! Count the basket and the foul, and where was the box out? As we see it on the replay here, only just for a brief moment, but Damien, Andrew, where was the boxing out there on Koenig?
Well, there wasn't any. It's quite simple.
Well, right now, the Huskies have had no answer for Koenig and Tegan Cunningham. They're both in a double-digit scoring right now.
So, and it makes that one Alice Koenig. And, of course, if I was Guy Malloy, I would just keep pounding into those two at the moment because they can't seem to stop them at the moment. Left side now to Johnson, the captain. Need to find a way to get a team back into this. In the hands here of Kermogan. Misses that time. Rebound now. Here they come up the floor. Oh, Koenig lost it. That's the first turnover in quite a while. Well, rarely a turnover today. As it goes in the hands here of Hodges on the right side. Bounce pass now to Johnson. Now to Carr. Carr's got to put it up. Misses. And their outside shooting's not there at the moment, the Huskies. 42-13.
They're really struggling with the pressure and the size difference as well, as we've seen a number of block shots as they've entered the key.
Here's Garrick for two. In and out. Foul's got to be called against Cunningham.
Now there's a box out.
Correct. Took them a while. And of course, a very special good morning to our US listeners early in the morning. On a Tuesday morning, I think it is over there. I never know with these time differences anymore. So, Houston with the ball. In the hands here of Zedinka. Now to Carr. Bounce pass down low now. At the top now is got a mystery number 11 out there for Houston. Here's drives in this time, and it's going to be a foul. Or was it didn't give me the team sheet right when they gave it to me? So I haven't got mystery 11 out there.
Yeah, we apologise to number 11 and her family.
Correct. We'll eventually find that out to half time, I think. So ball back into play for the Huskies. 42-13. Gives it off. Right side. Zdinka. Drives in traffic. Pops to the left side to Carr. For 2. Way off the mark. And then a foul. Pushing foul against the Huskies.
That's on number 14. That's Amanda Johnson.
Of course, Amanda Johnson from Georgetown, Texas.
So Cunningham to inbound to Koenig.
Those two have been amazing, haven't they, for the Boomers today? Cunningham and Koenig. Former Dandenong teammates now at the Boomers. Koenig missing an easy, simple layup. And here they come up the other end here in the hands of Carr. So Zdinka with the ball now. Come off a screen. Now goes right along, 3 on the way. Has to go down, way off the mark that time there by Johnson, out of bounds.
When the Huskies haven't been able to penetrate, they've really had nothing to go to. They really need to get back into that key on the dish out at the very least, because they've looked a little bit better when they've done that.
42-13 is the score. I don't think they've scored, have they, in this quarter?
Not recently, that's for sure.
Correct. Cunningham with the miss. Here they come down the other end. It's in the hands here of Johnson. In traffic out of... No, it's got to be foul. It's got to be called against Koenig. She cannot believe it. No.
It did seem to come off her hip.
Okay. So ball back into play here for the Huskies. Carr with the ball. Long jumper. Misses. Rebound now. That's the first offensive rebound we've seen from the Huskies tonight. So Zdinka, oh, hang on, they're down to 5 seconds. That's not long for them. They've got to hurry now. Zdinka, long 3. Blocked that time by Kano. Tries again for long 3s. Shot clock violation, though.
Yeah, and there's that adjust to the international rules. That the clock goes to 14, doesn't reset to the full 24, or as these girls will be used to, the full 30. Makes a big difference.
Certainly does. 42-13 is the score in favour of the Boomers here on a Tuesday night. Of course, the Boomers got some massive pre-season games coming up, including 2 WNBL teams here in Melbourne and in Ballarat in the coming weeks. As Goat knocks her drive, knocked out of the bounds. Foul's been called, though.
Yeah, there's some good pre-season matchups going on around the place. There's Bendigo is playing Dandenong.
In Bendigo?
No,
Werribee.
Werribee. At the New Eagle Stadium, which is a fantastic complex. So a big shout out there to Jason Kelly from the Werribee Basketball Association.
Garrett coming off the screen, misses that one off, coming off the inbound pass, and the foul, no, out of bounds, sorry. His Cunningham's down.
And
no, it's going to be a foul against her. Her second.
That's all right. Just a little bit concerned when she was clutching her knee there. That was the one she's had reconditioned.
And of course, the Boomers got a pre-season game with the Big V Invitational team down at the Shark Tank at Rosebud coming up, followed by a game against Bendigo. She comes off the court, Cunningham. Then they got Bendigo at Ballarat. Yep. And then they got the Dandenong Rangers at the Graveyard in Nuttawading before the season starts against Adelaide at home at the State Basketball Centre in October. Chancey on the left side, breaks back to the top, drives in Zdinka, misses everything, out of bounds. And they just can't get into the offense at the moment, the Huskies.
Well, that time they were able to get through a set at least, and that shot was just a very, very difficult shot at the end of it.
42-13 is the score, 26 seconds left. I don't think Huskies have scored in this second quarter at all. Here's Conti, right side now, Garrick. Full-back jumper, bakes at home for 44-13 lead.
Shot clock switched off.
It is.
Well, it should be. There we go.
So they've got 5 seconds. 4. They're going to have to go back. Zdinka for long 3, no good. Burton long 3 herself was no good. Hard time here at the Waverley Basketball Stadium. It is a rout here. Melbourne 44, the Huskies 13. And we'll be back right after this on Falcons TV.
So Chris Arkell, Waverley Falcons, state champ men.
Talia Higgs, Waverley, state champ women.
Paul McCoy, Waverley Falcons, state champions.
Tom Boyle, Waverley Falcons, state champ men.
Ivan Platonik, Waverley Falcons, senior champ men.
Waverley, Tegan Cunningham, women's champ.
George Delagianis, Waverley Falcons.
Katie Blueser, Waverley Falcons, state champ.
Ilya Polianis, state champ, women's coach of Waverley.
Mike Bullock, championship men coach, star.
No singing ones.
Oh, I'd have to say Chris Arkell and myself when we get together.
Oh, that's a tough one. I would have to say Chris Arkell. He's definitely got some great moves.
Ringwood.
I think Ringwood and us have a bit of a rivalry, so I would say Ringwood.
Can't go wrong with Ringwood. Ringwood for sure.
Tegan Cunningham.
I'd say Tegan.
I would have to say Ivan Platnik.
I would say Sedal, but it's probably myself.
Let's say it would be Sammy.
Shelby or Elise.
My go-to party trick is to grab a drink and sit down.
Shots.
Party trick. The turn and chuck.
Tom.
I'm going to have to say Tommy Boyle.
Elise?
Well, actually, it's not a player. It's Ilya Polianis, our coach in the women's.
Ilya? Can I count him in?
Katie.
Many people ask us, what is vMix? Well, thanks for asking. vMix is software that allows you to create awesome live video productions. vMix supports a variety of different inputs to help your live production come to life. These include cameras, videos, images, titles, PowerPoint, green screen, streams, audio, and more. You can then display your production on screens, record to your hard drive, and stream to the web all at the same time. There are many different applications for vMix. Some of our customers have used it for large music concerts, school productions, live sports coverage, church services, esports, live web streaming shows, horse auctions, you name it. vMix can do it. What do you need to use vMix? At the very basic end of things, you can use a computer with onboard graphics and a webcam. If you want to bring in a few HD cameras, you'll need a bit more processing power, a dedicated graphics card, and a capture device. We have a list of recommended system requirements on our website. Whether you're an aspiring YouTube singer in your bedroom performing Phil Collins covers, or someone with an 8-camera live concert production, vMix is for you. There is a free 60-day fully functional trial on our website, www.vmixhd.com. So check it out.
Basketball stadium here, halftime, and it's not looking good for the visiting team from Houston. It is the Melbourne Boomers 44, the Deakin Melbourne Boomers for that matter, 44-13 to the Houston Baptist University Huskies 13. Of course, we've got Damien here from Pick and Roll as well as Andrew from Falcons TV. Tell us your views on the first half.
Well, I think it was just a tough first half for Houston Baptist. They really struggled with the defensive size and presence and intensity of the Boomers. And for the majority of the Boomers team, this is their first hit out as a team. And to see that tensity and cohesion offensively, they were very, very sharp, I thought, early in particular with some of their ball movement and offensive structures. Whereas Houston, as we've mentioned time and time throughout the broadcast so far, is they've really struggled with the 24-second shot clock. The Boomers have really prevented them from getting into something early, and as a result, they've really struggled to score.
Yeah, they certainly have. The other thing too is that they're not being physical on the girls. So if you look at the difference, particularly Cunningham, Koenig, and Petaluna are coming out and setting really hard screens, and I think I perhaps saw one low post seal that was solid, and in doing that, the Huskies got the seal, got the ball into the post and scored, and that's got to happen a lot more. It's got to happen a lot more.
I think for the Huskies, one thing when they looked better and looked more organised is when they got some dribble penetration.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, they've really struggled to make a basket in the paint, but it's been the dish out and getting an open look that is probably something they're going to have to do more in this half. So it'll be really interesting to see what they come out with because they've had a lot of time to think about it.
Correct, of course. They managed 1 point in that second quarter too, by the way.
Yeah, it wasn't a great quarter for the Huskies, but having said that, the Melbourne Boomers were really impressive as well. And we talked about the Opals earlier as well. We've got a couple of borderline Opals in this team that were part of the squad in Alice Koenig and Elise Penaluna. And there's a quality around these players that Houston Baptist probably just hasn't come up against before.
Absolutely, and it's going to be tough. I wonder, he's still, Guy Malloy's still putting his starters, would normally be his starters, or close to his starters for the third quarter. So it looks like he's just going to try and ram down the Huskies in this third quarter by the looks of it.
Yeah, and I'd be expecting that he'd be starting to bring the development players into the game as well. So we saw Monique Conti already, but probably Chelsea D'Angelo coming out. Getting a few of the younger girls into the action, particularly with the score as it is.
Yeah, definitely. I think Chelsea D'Angelo is the one that'll definitely benefit of this margin. This is her first game that she suited up for the Boomers, so it'd be great experience for her to step onto the court.
And of course, she came off a great season with Latrobe City in D1 Women. Of course, scoring double figures and almost a double figure in rebounds as well for Latrobe. Of course, Cassidy Gould had a great season for Altona too in that championship win for Altona. Of course, a state player her own right too. Cassidy Gould is about to get back underway here. And it's in the hands of Brittany Smart. As the Boomers in front by 31 points. Here's Palanula, misses that time, and rebound now. That is much better by the Huskies in defense. Now they've got to get some scoring on the left side. Gives it back to Zeldinka. Down low, turns it over. Straight to Alice Koenig. And she gives it to Brittany Smart. Up the floor we go. Smart gives it now to Palanula. Garrick swinging the ball nicely here. Koenig on the right, 13 on the shot clock. Down to 12. Thompson. Left side of Garrick, long three, it missed. A rebound now, trying to pop it up, makes it to Zeldinka for the Huskies.
Yeah, Kirienko's actually done a couple of really nice things just at the moment. You know, she's come out a lot until then.
So kick ball, I guess, foot violation. Kirienko, of course, she's from Kaskent in Uzbekistan. There you go. So, and I think she'll be used to these 24 seconds things, don't they, over in Europe?
Yes, that's how they play. They play the FIBA rules.
Here's the three on the way. Bird misses that time. There's going to be a shot clock violation because it didn't hit the ring, or did it?
I don't think that hit the ring, so I think that's the right call.
So out it goes. And it'll be a turnover for the Huskies. We've seen some glimmer of the Huskies offense playing a lot better.
Well, it's good to see the Huskies are still very vocal on the bench to support the team.
Smart to Palanula along three, misses that time. Rebound now. Foul's got to be called against the Huskies as Thompson pretty much got the ball and then got fouled.
Yeah, and that was Amanda Johnson just not quite quick enough there and ended up just reaching into the back of the Boomers player.
Ball back into play here. Left pass now to Thompson. Thompson goes for the jumper, misses.
You notice how the Huskies are now starting to find bodies in defence as well. And that was a good example there. You know, we're taught over here now that you can't teach to bump the cutter, but that's exactly what they were doing.
So Dinker misses, goes for the four-way put back. Nice play there by Bird. So the margin now back to a 29-point lead. So first field goal. Is this the first quarter for the Huskies? Because they hit a free throw a moment ago. As in the second quarter, as the foul's going to be called against the Huskies, as Koenig pretty much just got it and then got fouled. She'll go line.
Yeah, I'd have liked to have seen that pass from to Koenig actually a little bit higher on that so that she didn't have to drop her hands down. But as it was, the two Huskies players reached in after the ball.
Cunningham comes back on. Palanula takes a break. Of course, Damien, of course, Beck Cole's not playing in today's game, but she'll be a major factor for the Boomers this season.
Yeah, Beck Cole's in action for the Nunawading Spectres in the Seabull competition at the moment in the finals, and she only played a couple of minutes the other day, so I believe she's under an injury cloud.
So, interesting to see how Nunawading goes. Of course, Kilsyth are the front runners in the Seabull. Kim City are the front runners in the Big V, state champ women. And Sunbury dominating D1 women, of course, in the Big V. Bounce pass left side for the Huskies. Bird drives in, pops it up, no good. And here they comes, Thompson with the ball. Left side to Cunningham, who... What has happened here? Out of bounds. Couldn't quite save it. 46-15.
Well, what we're noticing right now is there's a lot more energy and a lot more purpose from the Huskies, and this is really making a game of it here in the third quarter, even though we've already got a big margin. A lot more entertaining to watch as a result. Oh, nice move.
Great work.
Zeldinka fouled. Well, we need to see a lot more of that, don't we?
We certainly do, and as I said, there is more purpose, there's more intensity happening out there, and you talked about the bodies at one end. Well, offensively, they've been playing with a lot more purpose.
So is it? So it's in the
Thompson.
It was on Thompson. First personal. Lisa Zerdenko at the line, shooting 2. She's from Austria. Of course, a lovely capital of Vienna.
Yeah, real international flavour to the college squads nowadays. They are really dragging players in from all over the place.
So one of the reasons for that is it's very competitive, obviously, recruitment over in the United States with the high-end talent being really attracted to the high major teams. And as a result, those mid-major programs have to really think outside the square of where they're going to get that talent from, and they're going overseas.
Koenig misses that one as the Huskies with the ball now. Of course, we'll talk about the other way around. Of course, a couple of the US college players who, of course, finished their senior year, of course, playing down here in the Big V, and Siebel as well, as a turnover here for the Huskies. Cunningham to Garrick. 30 points the margin, 46-16, 6:43 to go. Garrick coming off a screen, drives, now got it stuck now. Gives it back to Koenig for a long 3, banks it home.
Yeah, so a lot of the Australian players that have gone away to college are back in the system here and are playing in our semi-pro leagues, and that is just lifting the quality of those competitions phenomenally as well.
Oh, look, definitely. Only the elite players will make the National Basketball League or the Women's National Basketball League here in Australia, and the remainder of those players that don't quite get to that elite level competition back home here in Australia, they're the ones going back to the SEABL and the state leagues.
Chelsea Delangelo just came back on the first time on the floor today. So Garrick, fadeaway jumper. God, she's good. 51-16.
Well, this is somewhat of a big moment for D'Angelo. This is her first playing time in the Boomers.
Was coming off a tough series against Geelong, which they lost in 3 games.
And there you go, she picks up a steal.
So D'Angelo, one of the best forwards, young forwards in the comp, as Cunningham misses and then got fouled by Thompson.
And D'Angelo's still under 18, I think, isn't she?
She is.
So, of course, we saw her playing in the CBL competition last break. She won't obviously be playing in that this year.
It's going to be a big loss for Traralgon, the 2-time defending CBL Gippsland Conference champions.
And there was big news out of the country basketball this week in that they've got a record number of teams entering that country basketball competition as well, which is fantastic. So for all the people saying that basketball is on its death knell here in Australia, it's definitely not.
No, definitely not. Indeed. And of course, but there's a lot went away in the Gippsland Conference. As an offensive foul is going to be called against the Huskies. And another player keen to have a look at, Damien, is Cassidy Gould, who's about to come back on the floor replacing, let's have a look who she's about to replace. Oh, no, we won't. We'll have a timeout before then.
Timeout.
51-16, and Damien and Andrew, better signs from the Huskies in the early stage of this third quarter.
Well, they've only scored 3 points. Their intent and purpose, like I said earlier, has been there. They've been playing more aggressively, both defensively and offensively. And particularly on offense, they're playing with more purpose. You're seeing the penetration, you're seeing the ball movement, and the movement off the ball, which just didn't happen in the first half.
Yeah, and that really is the crux of it. So, but again, if you watch the physicality of the Boomers players on them, you know, there was a passage of play there. I think that they said, I counted something like 9 or 10 screens in a row, and they were, you know, a couple of the players were screening, re-screening 2, 3, 4 times. You know, perhaps it's because this team is so young. They're only freshmen, as you said, the majority of freshmen. They don't have as many seniors, and they're not used to the physicality just yet. I don't know.
But one of the reasons why college teams go on this overseas trip, whether it's Australia or another country, they're trying to build a culture within the team. They're trying to build the program. They're preparing for a season. They're trying to put systems in place. So while we would love to see them be more structured and more detailed in their approach to the game, as you mentioned, they're a very young team. One of the reasons why they're out here is to build that team.
Yeah. And that's the great thing. I mean, reading up on their blogs on the website, they're obviously doing a great job of team bonding and having a ball here in Australia.
Same thing what South Dakota did last week, as Gould Gives off to Koenig, long three. Can't leave her open. Tell you what, Alice Koenig is red hot tonight. Even though she did miss a couple in the second quarter. As now Huskies try to respond back with a three of their own for Amanda Johnson. That is a great offensive play there by the Huskies.
Yeah, and it came off a quick ball movement as well.
Long time between drinks since they've hit a three-point shot too. We saw a couple early in the game, and it's been a long time since.
54-19 to score. 4:45 to go. Third quarter. So Koenig to Gould coming off the screen. She's not shy from this range. Misses. Rebound now. And of course, they've got a lot of outside shooters, the Boomers, this year. Look
at the pressure.
Yeah, a great double team there by Cunningham and one of the best pickpocket players in the comp.
Oh, nice.
And a foul as Gould fouled there against, and the Huskies player there will go line shooting too as she turns around. That's Amanda Johnson. 54-19. Amanda Johnson, as I mentioned, she's from Georgetown in Texas.
So we're just talking about teams touring Australia, college teams, and we've been really blessed this year to have a number of teams come out. We've already seen Washington come and go, but right now UCLA men and women are coming out as well, and Eastern Washington are here as well at the moment, and the Princeton women's team are also coming out.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
okay.
Eastern Washington here in this stadium on Thursday night. We will be streaming that as well.
And, of course, they'll be at Diamond Valley on Wednesday night, aren't they? At Greensboro?
No, tomorrow night is actually at Nunawading.
Sorry, Nunawading. You're right, it is too. I have no idea how I got those two.
That's all right.
Associations right.
You're excited about it.
Correct. No, I'm looking forward to that one.
So is it a record number, do you think, of American teams coming out, college teams coming out this season?
Look, it's certainly up there. I can't recall for at least in the last 4 or 5 years that we haven't seen this number of teams come out. But, you know, last year we had Cal as an example come out, and we had some really quality teams last year, and we're seeing it again this year.
Of course, off the top of my head for last year in the women's, it was Butler and Nebraska came down to Melbourne, and they both actually came back home with great seasons too, both of them. Butler and Nebraska, of course, both did one. So ball back into play here. As Kerber turned it over, straight to Koenig. That's not the play to lose it to, because she was ranked number 5 in the competition last year for steals. Alice Koenig on the right side now, in the hands here of Gould. Go to Garrett, long three. Missed. Rebound is in the hands here of the Boomers.
Yeah, Cunningham reads the ball really well off the ring.
So Koenig, long three. No. Of course,
there it is again.
And
that's the second offensive rebound to her.
Cunningham is in a chance to get MVP too for the league.
Yeah.
It's got to be challenges though. Here's Garrett Bates on the long driving two.
Yeah, and the shot clock not being reset properly on that last passage of play, so the rest did a good job of letting that run.
So Conti about to come back on. So it looks like we've got all the development players there, minus set for Garrick, I assume. I can't see who's on this far side. I think it is Garrick. So Garrick's the only player. Everyone's in the development team, which is great to see, Damien.
Oh, look, it is. And we did call that's what would happen late in the game.
So still 3 minutes to go in the third. Conti brings it up.
Again, we're seeing a lot of discipline there in the last few plays.
Oh,
look at that. Oh, she just
misses. Foul, got it. Casey Burton cut the basket in the foul. But I tell you what, for a point guard to drive like Conti did, Damien, you can't afford to let her do that.
No, you can't. But that was a well-run offensive play. And what I was going to say is the Boomers have really pulled up a few times where they've had opportunities for a fast break score, but they've pulled it up to run the set play. And that's what this game is about for them. It's about, getting through their sets, building as a team, and putting those structures in place so they can have a successful season.
Long three here for Johnson. Amanda Johnson's having a great third quarter for the Huskies from that range.
She's having a very good quarter for the Huskies this period, and they've scored 10 points for this period. It's been quite successful for them so far.
Oh, can they keep it going for the rest of the game? Conti, right side of Gould. Gould drives in, 50 on the shot clock. Burton in traffic, makes it put it up, no good. Great box out there by Kerber, and here they come up the floor. So, in the hands of the Huskies. Right side this time for Taylor, who had a great first quarter, based on the 2, and at least we've seen some offensive play there by the Huskies.
Yeah, look, this is their chance. This is their chance to get into a rhythm and just build a little bit of confidence. And
D'Angelo couldn't find Conti on the right, out of bounds. So it looks like Guy Malloy's going to bring some more development players on the floor. Of course, Emma Neves, I'll get it right eventually, because she's from Frankston. And Bet Ott for Knox.
It's great to see a flavour of all those relevant State League and Seabull teams around Melbourne being represented in the Boomers too.
Oh, Conti. Ooh. Conti is one of the best deals in the competition. We saw that in VYC Women Grand Final.
We certainly did, and you could see it on the vision that came from FIBA in the under-17 championships. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Damien, about the representation of the junior teams, and that's been one of the I suppose the key things in the transition of the licence from the Bulleen Templestowe Club to the current ownership group, is that they're trying to become even more inclusive of the basketball fraternity here in Melbourne.
Yeah, and they had that the open tryouts too not long ago, where they really opened up the development spots to really anyone to come in and have a tryout. And I just think that's really great to see from an elite club playing in the national competition, to really open it up and give anyone a chance.
Yeah.
And not just that, if you look at the coaching bench there as well, obviously you got Alan, who's a great coach for Victoria, as well as just coached the state chairman at Diamond Valley, Nicole Howard from Warrandyte.
Yeah, no, you got to get her right.
Yeah, exactly right. That's my old stomping ground. So you got to get Warrandyte right.
I should know that because I sponsor out there at Warrandyte.
And of course, a lot of the support staff are traditional Bulleen supporters as well.
Of course, Jenny James, actually team manager at Warrandyte.
Correct. There's another link there. And Justin Nelson, like myself, is a former president of Warrandyte.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, but he has fled the coop.
Yes,
he has. He's now the GM of the WNBL team.
Yeah, he's gone from Warrandyte to Camberwell to McKinnon. He's coaching the state champ man. Justin Nelson.
He's a journeyman.
He is. So Conti on the right from Melbourne. The championship Melbourne team gives it a left side here. Garrick bakes it home.
And Bulleen have hit those mid-range jump shots all game.
Matty Garrick from Shepparton.
Who did you say? Bulleen.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, Melbourne.
We just talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah. Long pass at Conti.
There you go. She made a living at that at the World Championships.
Yeah, she really did.
And she did that against Bulleen, ripped them up to pieces. Sorry, I got everyone confused on that one.
Yeah.
So 66-25, last play.
Now, if you want to check out what we're talking to, you can check it out on the YouTube. Just search for VYCW.
Turns it over. Burn with the ball. 1 second. They've got to put it up.
No. Lack of a clock awareness there.
Well, that was probably the only rare mistake for the Boomers there. 66-25 at three-quarter time. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back in just a moment.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Waverley Falcons stomping ground here at the Falcons Nest. We're seeing a great game from the Deakin Melbourne Boomers and the Houston Baptist University Huskies.
Gotta say, yeah, try to say that a couple of times. Damien, how have you found this third quarter just gone?
Well, look, the Huskies did step up, which is what we wanted. We wanted them to step up and make a bit of a fight of it. And whilst the margin doesn't look any better, they gave a bit of fight. They showed a bit of spirit, both defensively and offensively. They played with more purpose. They looked like they were going to score that quarter, which we hadn't seen earlier on. But one thing that's impressed me, we were just talking about it off air, is Monique Conti. Really, for Bulleen, I said it again, for Melbourne Boomers. For Melbourne Boomers, they've lost nothing with her running the point at all. And that's a really encouraging sign for the season ahead.
I'm quite excited about Monique Conti because I'm sponsoring her this year.
Well, they've also got Chloe Malloy as well.
That's right.
In the squad, who's not playing today.
She's part of that Nutter Wadding.
Correct. I watched that game the other day, and she was in great form, and it was a really tough loss for the Spectres. They were overwhelmed by Dandenong, who were just very, very, very strong in that game. So they'll have to bounce back in the knockout preliminary final for the Eastern Conference.
And hopefully my ex-player, Ali Drennan, does well.
Yeah, look, she definitely played well, but it was a really tough night as we just see them execute again.
Conti again. I'm so excited about Conti now.
They've run that play so many times this game, and they've made a living scoring on that.
Hopefully enjoying our coverage here on Falcons TV. At 9:30 to go in this one as Dinko on the left side. Is a long three, needs to hit this, no good. Rebound now and in the hands of... Oh, well done to Dinko to peg it away. No good that time there by Kumogan, and then the foul's going to be called against who's it against? It's against the Huskies. And hopefully enjoying our coverage here. Of course, Will here from Smash FM, Andrew from Falcons TV, and Damien from Pick and Roll.
That was I think that was our mystery player, number 11.
Correct, which we still haven't found out that yet.
Yeah.
It's too late now. Here's Conti, left side to Garrick. Right straight to Conti. Because she's going to be a great point guard for the Boomers this season. Here's Conti for a long three, misses that time. Of course, that's something the Boomers missed last year.
And we're seeing the fight that we wanted still. They're really putting their bodies on the line this quarter so far.
Conti to Garrick at the top. Garrick, long three, and it goes. 71-25.
Justin Nelson, the general manager, patrolling the baselines there with a camera in his hand.
Correct.
Well, something in his hand anyway.
I'm sure it'll be a camera. Here's
pickpocket.
Oh, Conti again. Of course, bounce pass to banks at home. She's great from that play too. And a timeout, an early timeout here for the
Huskies. Yep.
The Huskies, 73-25, and looking pretty awesome here at the moment. Of course, Big V action, of course, on Falcons TV, state champ women and men, of course, out at Ringwood this Saturday. Of course, Ringwood take on Him City game one of that series, and it's a good old rivals go head-to-head again for the fourth straight year. And Ringwood and Crow Bay again play for the third time in 4 years.
Yeah, that should be an absolutely rocking event because it's not a huge stadium, not a lot of seats. It will be absolutely packed. It will be standing room only. And again, we'll be streaming for the fifth year, I think it is, fourth or fifth year. We'll actually be streaming the finals, so people will be able to watch that. Big double header. And of course, we're also streaming next Thursday's game against the Eastern Washington University team as well.
And Damien, obviously the team to beat in the women's in Seaball is the Kilsyth Cobras. They dropped 1 or 2 games already this season, and they're going to be the team to catch, aren't they?
Look, they are, and it's going to be tough. Although I watched the Dandenong-Nunawading game, and Dandenong looked really, really strong. Lauren Scherf absolutely dominated the Spectres. So, they've got a lot of weapons, and if there's one team that could probably take it to Kilsyth, it could well be Dandenong.
But Kilsyth's got some great players. Gemma Ogier, Chantel Pereira, Steph Cumming, you can name them all, and they can play their role really well.
Oh, look, they can, and it's going to be really interesting to see who goes all the way this year, because not just Kilsyth, but there's as I said, Daniel, there's a number of teams that are really stacked this year.
It's going to be an interesting contest. We'll talk about the men's in just a moment. As Burns with the ball, we're down to 13 on the shot clock at the moment. Koenig, come off a screen, long three, in and out. Rebound, Smart. Smart again, pops it up. Foul, yes! Count it! Oh, what a play by Brittany Smart. As we look on this on replay, in traffic, banks at home, and she'll go line shooting 1 bonus.
Well, that was one of the very few times the Boomers' offense actually broke down and ended up with a 3-point attempt and scoring on a really strong play to the basket on the offensive rebound.
So as we go to the line here, it is Brittany Smart who misses. She rarely misses from those range, but picks up the offensive boards. And here they come up the other end now. Here's Conti. Misses that time. Rebound now almost by Smart. Doubles out, and here they come. Foul. And it's against Smart. Of course, the men's coming up. Damien. Hobart take on Albury Wodonga. Brisbane take on Nuttawading. And the winner will take on Mount Gambier and Bendigo, respectively.
Again, we talked about the women having some talent. Gee, there's some talent in the men's teams as well. And
yeah.
I actually think it's probably more open in the men than the women. There's a number of teams who can do it. We're talking Mount Gambier, perennial champions, and it'd be hard to look past them. But
Hobart finished the regular season on top there as well, and then had a horror game against Mount Gambier at home in that first final. So I rather suspect that their coach Anthony Stewart's going to get them up and firing for that next game.
Correct. And of course, we'll talk about the women's in just a moment. Conti with the ball now as the Huskies make the 2. Margin back to 48 points. So they haven't stopped trying, the Huskies. Oh, Koenig drives in, pops it up. Foul, yes, we'll go again. Count the basket and the foul, 77-27. And again, another driving basket there by the Boomers, by Alice Koenig. And
what a solid screen from Emma Nankervis there on... it was on Kirienko.
Of course, in the women's, in Seabull finals, Launceston take on Geelong, Nuttawading and Brisbane, the winner take on Dandenong and Kilsyth, respectively, Damien.
Yeah, was it Brisbane got over Bendigo on the weekend? Was
Correct.
That? Yeah, so, and we talked about the Spectres before where they got a hiding against Dandenong. So, you know, I think based on form, you know, Brisbane will like their chances there in that matchup with the Spectres, although the Spectres did finish in second place.
They did, so they could be out in straight sets there. Of course, Bitco and Chloe Malloy's team. Here's a long 3 on the way. Missed that time there by Johnson. And another offensive boards, this time by Jones. Puts it up, no good. Rebound now. Oh, almost got a Falcon along the way. And they'll get the bounce pass. Smart. Try to go to, out of bounds. And the Huskies more ferocious on the boards.
Look, that's what we want to see, and it's great they're really fighting out this game. It would have been very easy just to go down without a fight, but they're really throwing their bodies on the line. And, you know, I think the coaching staff can take something away from this game, the way they're finishing. Yes, they're getting beaten well, but they're finishing strongly, they're playing strongly, they're being more physical. And I'll come back to it, they look like they're trying to run through their offenses, they're trying to play to the coach's instructions.
So Conti missed the 3, but an offensive board again, fresh 14. Here's Koenig, misses that time. Rebound Burton, another fresh 14. So that's the 3rd offensive board so far for the Boomers. Right side, Koenig drives in.
That's strong.
Foul, yes, done it again. And Damien and Andrew, that is the 3rd time the Boomers have done that in the last 3 or 4 plays.
We spoke about it earlier, the more experienced bodies of Kunek and Cunningham earlier, who we haven't seen a lot of this half. She's been shelved, and possibly after that knock to the leg that we saw. But, you know, the more experienced players have certainly set this up, but the Boomers have lost nothing with their development players on the court.
Great, especially this one here, Conti. Right side to Evicus with the ball now. That's going to be a a shot clock violation. So the Boomers made a rare mistake and got themselves a shot clock violation.
And I think what we're seeing is those younger players in the Boomers roster are now on the court, and well, they've actually been really, really good in getting through those sets. There's been a couple of times they haven't quite done that, and that time it was costly, but they've got a big, big lead.
They certainly do, and what a way to have some game time as well. So right side, Johnson goes for a long three, misses that time, rebound now, trying to crash the boards this time. It's in the hands here of Bet-Ott. A great rebounder, of course, MVP in a grand final series not long ago for Knox. Here's Burton for two, misses, rebound now, popped it up, who's got it? It's in the hands of Johnson, who lost it to Conti. Conti drives, puts it up, misses. Rebound now, it's in the hands here of Bird, and a foul's going to be called. It's going to be a baseline ball. Tell you what, Guy Malloy will be reasonably happy with what he's seen on the floor at the moment.
Look, he definitely will be, and there's a lot of positives to take out of this for the Boomers, and it's around the discipline, the approach to their offense. Their structures have been there, and they haven't really deviated from those structures all game. So that is a definite positive, and the intensity from the opening tip was there.
Shot didn't go in, but that was much better. I counted, 5 passes there before the shot went up, and it moved the defence around and created that shot from the top there.
Now, I haven't watched any of Houston Baptist games before tonight, and so I don't know what their form's been like leading into this game. But looking at some of the results, they've been quite successful. They've been competitive and done really well. So, but this is a step up in competition for them today. Right. This is really a step up, and we've talked about the Boomers don't even have their full roster here today. This is the first time they've got some of their senior players stepping into game time. So, for both teams, there's things to look forward to. This is a great learning experience for Houston Baptist with a young team to go back with. And for the Boomers, this is the first step in their season ahead. And
what I found, I'm not sure you found this as well, Damien, following college basketball as well, teams that's come out here to Australia in particular and gone back home, they've had a very successful season back home. Oh, look, they have. And that's probably why we're seeing more teams come out here. They're playing against quality opposition. The culture's not too different. They can all speak English. As a starter, it's a great help.
And the Australian dollar has dived against the greenback.
Oh, so exactly right. That's incentive enough.
Yeah, look, you know, when you consider that it's 25% cheaper for the Americans to come out here than it is for us to go over there.
Exactly right. And the quality of competition they're getting great competition, and they can nearly pick and choose what they want, really. Such as the quality of the game that we have, and there's different states that we have. All those state leagues are very, very strong. So the fact that they're playing a National League team right now is something they can take back with them. And also just that as well, Melbourne's been the priority for the US college teams as well when they come to Australia. Well, that's probably because we have the stronger teams overall. We've got a lot more stronger teams in Melbourne than we do in Sydney and Brisbane, as an example of some of our other capital cities. Not taking away anything from them, they don't have the depth of teams. There's a lot more teams of that level that college teams want to play. And of course our conditions will suit them pretty well, I think. Our weather conditions we've had the last couple of weeks. So down low now, almost nice little play by Taylor. That's a great read that time by Sophie Taylor. Almost lost it there, the Huskies, but nice pickup. But look, one of the other reasons why college teams travel isn't just around the playing or the cultural, or the playing time or the getting used to each other on court. It's also developing a culture off the court. And to experience another country and another culture in that sense as well is something it's a life experience that they don't otherwise get. So it's like when the Australians go over to the United States to play college basketball, they're getting a life experience. This is, 1 or 2 weeks in another country is something they may never do again. And of course, that normally happens during the Christmas, New Year, I found out, in most of the...
For us, yes.
For us, that's right. So, of course, them is just before the season starts in about a month and a half. So, drives in this one by Taylor foul. And, of course, Sophie Taylor's had a great game, except for a silent second quarter. But other than that,
She's done some really nice things for the Huskies.
Yeah. So we're talking about college teams coming to Australia, but we've got so many Australians going to the college system right now, and one of those teams we spoke about, Eastern Washington, who's playing at the moment, they've got 5 Australians on their roster.
Wow.
And that's with bringing in an incoming freshman and someone like Venky Joyce graduating.
Yep. What about St Mary's? St Mary's is 7, was it, last season?
7 on their roster last season, and that's no different again this year. So more than half their roster are Australians now. That's long been a pipeline of Australian talent going there, but we've seen other teams, such as Boise State, such as University at Albany in New York as well. With we all saw what Peter Hooley did in the America East Championship.
And it's not just the players; they're now starting to pick up coaches as well. So.
Oh, that's right. And
you mentioned Boise State. Of course, they've got
John Riley.
Yes.
You got Chris Harriman as well as over there. David Patrick, who's just signed who's Ben Simmons' godfather. He's just signed in TCU.
Just moved from LSU, didn't he?
Yeah, he's signed with TCU Horned Frogs.
And I think he's head coaching that one.
I believe he's an assistant coach.
Correct. Okay. I think it's assistant, yeah. But back to the 2 after a couple of plays there, 82-29, just 2 minutes to go in this one. And there's going to be a timeout to Houston, 82-29. And I guess not just the men's, by the way. The women's have done pretty well, especially at St Mary's, Baylor. There's a couple of other clubs. Gonzaga had one. Of course, that was George before she finished her senior year. New York, Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo.
I think they picked up another Australian over there too, Buffalo, New York.
There's a lot, and sometimes it's hard to keep track of where all these players are, to be honest with you, because what we find is there's a lot of Australians will go over there, but the situation's not quite right for them as well, whether it's playing time, the culture, changes of coaches, and then you end up with transfers as well. And unfortunately, with that kind of scenario, they lose a year of eligibility and have to sit out as well.
Yeah.
And there's... especially in the Big V, I know there's 2 clubs that did suffer throughout the year because of that. State champ women's a good example. Andrew, of course, you would know pretty well.
Southern Penn, yeah.
Southern Penn pretty much lost their 3 of the starting 5, all gone to college, and Diamond Valley lost 2 of their starting 5, all gone to college.
That's right. And look, we're talking about the Melbourne Boomers right now, and we mentioned Chloe Malloy before. She's going to be playing this season with the Boomers before going to VCU.
Wow.
The following year. So, there's a lot of talent going over there, and the Melbourne Boomers are no different.
Correct. So, we'll get, as we mentioned, Damien, we'll get one last chance this season to see Chloe Malloy in the WNBL before she goes over. As the 2 banks on there for the Houston. Got it back to 51, but they've done it very well. They haven't stopped trying. Oh, not quite that time there by Zdenka. It fouls on her as Downjoy almost got it back. That puts him in the penalty, though. That's the 15th foul. And Chelsea Delangelo will go line shooting 2. And Lisa Zeldinka for Houston. Done a great job so far tonight.
Yeah, she's certainly had a lot of influence on the game for her team here as well. I'm just trying to get my head around how you actually pronounce her surname.
Well,
that's quite getting it right.
Well, that's what the bench told me. So I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right. I do apologise to the family there if I am saying it wrong. As a 2 there for Kinko. Tell you what, these names are messing me around today, isn't it?
Yeah, no, she's been good too.
She has. Oh, Carter, Chelsea Delangelo.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, that's her first points?
It is. For sure, yes, it is. Her first points. She had a great game, a double-double against Geelong in Game 2 for scoring a double-digit and almost a double-double in that game before falling short there in a very strange series. They're in D1 Women. Of course, Sunbury, the team to beat in D1 Women, Andrew. And of course, a lot of New Zealanders in that team.
Including their coach.
Correct. Of course, I'll be out there for Game 2 and possibly Game 3 as an offensive foul is going to be called against Houston. We're down to 40 seconds left.
well, they may be not happy with that call. That's what they want to see more of. We want to see that physical nature of their play, because that's really opened it up a little bit more for them, and they've had a lot more open looks as a result.
So second last play of the fourth quarter of this game, the Boomers will win by 50 odd. But Houston have not stopped trying. So fans back home in Houston, stay with your team, because they're doing a great job so far against the WNBL national competition team, as the foul's been called against the Huskies. And I must say,
not just great for the players, but also for the officials. These are local Waverley refs, and it's not often that they get to run in a 3-man rotation. So it's fantastic that they get the opportunity as well to ref at this level game.
So it is Kiss at the line, makes 1 of 2. So last play now, and they'll wind the clock down, not all the way, but close to it. 86-33. They can get it to exactly 50. Here, they've got 6 on the shot clock before the end of this game. Left baseline to Bird, 2 seconds. Jumper misses by Johnson. That is it. And the Melbourne Boomers win 86-33 over the Huskies. And of course, a great game here tonight. And well, before we wrap things up, I'm going to say thank you to the great commentary team we've got here. Damien, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem at all. It was a pleasure to be here. And you know, that game was really set up by Tegan Cunningham and Alice Kunek early on. They really dominated early and set that up. And you know, it was a pleasure to be here and calling the game with you guys.
No worries. And how can our viewers get to follow your stuff there at Pick and Roll?
Yeah, look, you can find everything about Australian basketball at pickandroll.com.au, and you can also follow us on Pick and Roll AU on both Facebook and Twitter.
Absolutely. Thanks, Damien, for joining us. Andrew, thank you for joining us as well.
Not a problem, Will, and we'll be back, of course, on Thursday at 7:30 with the boys' game against Eastern Washington U. Waverley Falcons versus Eastern Washington. And then, as you mentioned earlier in the call, the big doubleheader of the grand final first game of their 3-game series from the Rings over at Ringwood.
So thank you so much there. And of course, thank you to all our Smash FM listeners as well. Of course, I'll be over in Perth, but the next big V action for me will be the big clash out there, Sunbury and Geelong. Game 2 of that series at the Hangers. But for me, Will Teller, Andrew and Damien here, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Falcons TV.